Safe to say I'm the biggest, the largest. Been stepping up shit since my mama stayed in them apartments. Regardless, my daddy told me keep the heat even when I'm in foreigns. I'm heartless, cause these niggas is hating on me just because I'm the biggest.
Welcome to No Demand for Average. So I'm Miles Goodrich. Weekly, we will talk about leadership, sales, business, family, personal growth, all those sorts of things. So if you're looking to build something great, refuse to settle for what you're currently at, you're in a good spot. Let's get started. So again, Miles Goodrich, kind of give you a background. So I've been doing this over 10 years now. And so this is just door-to-door solar is all I've done. And over that time, I've been able to learn a few things, only a few though, specifically about leadership, the people that you surround yourself with, the company that you work with. And this is simply an opportunity for me to share what I've learned, and invite people on to get their take on things, what they've learned, and really try and help the average become not average. And so today we've got Spencer Brame. He's one of my boys.
Hello.
He has been at ES now for a few years. I'll let him tell it. But today we're going to be talking specifically about leadership, how that looks, and the types of leaders that we are, what we've seen, what we've experienced. And so, I mean, first things first, I'd obviously like Spencer to kind of introduce himself and kind of tell his quick little bio, if you will, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Spencer Brame, been doing this since 2015. Got into door-to-door completely on accident. I was framing houses and working at Subway, doing odd jobs to like see if I could make some money. Never really made like maybe more than like $20,000 in a year. Just kind of living in my parents' basement, trying to figure life out. Got out of a really bad breakup, was depressed, and just like wanted to basically punish myself. So I reached out to my cousin and was just like, hey, I'm ready to go knock doors. Send me to Texas.
Door-to-door is the perfect way to punish yourself.
Right? I was like, you know what? I don't care if I make any money. Like, I just need to be miserable. I want to be miserable somewhere else. And then I actually found out that I was really good at this. I was the top rookie at Vivint my first year. Did alarms for about 4 or 5 years. I think about 5 years. Went and sold cars for a little bit, and then started moving into solar, and then worked with a couple of different companies. I worked with a sales company when I first started, went and did my own dealer for a little bit, and then came over to ES Solar, and it's been the best decision of my entire life. Been here for the last at least 5 years, if not 6 years now.
That's awesome, dude. He's actually the one that brought me here. Mm-hmm. It was actually a funny story, and then we'll get into it. But I had been working somewhere else. I mean, again, just solar door to door and some phone calls over the years, but worked somewhere else. And my wife was like, hey, let's go to Utah. And I kept telling her, absolutely not. We're not going to Utah. And then she messaged Spencer on Instagram and was like, hey, my husband wants to do this. And he was actually a dick at first.
The first time, yeah. I didn't think I was.
Excuse my language. He was not very nice. Basically, he said, if you're not successful, it's your fault. And we will get into that. Okay. We will eventually. But a few weeks go by, could be even like a couple of months. I think it was
actually almost a couple of months to a year.
Yeah. I think a while went by and I finally reached out and he's like, yeah, dude, just come down to Utah. I was up in Washington State. And so I came down to Utah, and actually, first of all, I had a phone call with Spencer, and he was on his way to another vacation, which is why my wife wanted me to come here, because she's like, Spencer's always on vacation. So I messaged him. He was on vacation. He's like, hey, when I get back, come to Utah. So when he was back, I came to Utah, and he was shocked.
Stunned.
And getting into the type of leader that Spencer is, just to give you an idea. So he makes me shadow him, which is great. Right, learning a new market. I shadow Spencer for a few days, and he says, dude, go. And I am not so arrogant that I can't knock doors. And I went and knocked doors. Like, yes, do I love knocking doors? I've come to love knocking doors more as I've gotten more into this. Before, I was just like, no, dude, I just want to close deals. I just want to close. And every closer has always had that mentality. I just want leads fed to me. Like, I don't want to work. I just want to close deals. But Spencer said, go do this. And dude, I just went and did it. So I was working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, living here by myself in Utah while my family was still in Washington, trying to figure out if this was the move for us. And dude, it was not long after that Spencer, he's like, hey dude, you're good at what you do. Go crazy. So I started getting fed leads and then so on and so forth. But speaking of Spencer, it was one of those, shadowed him for a few days. He gave me an opportunity. He didn't believe that he was better than me at all. It was just simply, hey, this is how the structure is. I think you're good enough to go do this. Now go prove it. And so I think that was the first introduction to ES. And I mean, it's been 2 years now, actually, almost to the date.
Yeah.
So
Right on. Yeah, I believe it was August that I was on
Yeah.
the way up to Canada. I remember
Yeah.
sitting in that gas station, filling up the car in Montana, having that phone call with you, and told you to come up here. I really didn't believe that you were going to be here when I got back. And you were literally sitting there in the office, just all smiles and ready to go. But impressed me from the beginning is that you actually did what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
You were humble enough to get out and do the job. You didn't have your hand out. The handout mentality drives me nuts. And I love that about you.
Thanks, dude. That's another topic that we can spend a lot of time on, is handouts. But the biggest thing that I wanted to cover today with you, Spencer, there's a few, but number one is leading without being a friend, or how to lead without being everyone's friend. And I think there's a pretty good balance between the two. I know we've dealt with, our friendship has blossomed into this
like a
beautiful flower.
An orchid.
But it is a difficult thing to, I think, manage, to actually master. Talk to me a little bit. You and I are a little bit different story, but how do you do it?
Dude, it's tough because I've been on both sides of the equation where there are times in managing where I feel like I haven't had enough of a friendship with some of my guys, and it makes it hard to like say some of the hard truths because, and that's maybe even more just respect. Like we don't have that layer of leadership there where you can say those hard things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then you also have those other guys where you're too close and it's too hard to say some of those hard things. And so there's a balance. I think living in the middle is where you need to be, but it's really easy to oscillate and be too far on one side or too far on the other.
Yeah.
And over the years, I feel like I have gotten better, but I definitely feel like it's something that always takes work, and you've got to make sure that you're putting in the time and the effort with your people.
Yeah. When your people are doing good, you're their best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the biggest things with being a friend and a leader at the same time, is a lot of leaders over my years doing this, I have seen not be able to have the hard conversations because they have leaned towards the friendship more.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of the, dude, bro, you're doing good, but maybe we could try this. It's like, no, they need a harder truth.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They need a lot harder truth sometimes, especially if you want people to grow properly. And so, example wise, we have, both of us have big offices right now, and there's a lot of people that are a part of that, and making sure that everybody's doing and saying what they need to say or doing what they need to do. Being someone's friend is important, but allowing them the space to actually grow and have the harder conversations is hard to do.
It's true. Especially like for you and I, like we'll have our times where we are frustrated.
Yeah.
And venting to each other, it's fine. It's good. Venting to the side or up, that's what you need to do. But having those conversations with your guys, like your guys need to know that you're rock solid, that you're right where you need to be, and that you're having those good moments. And as you were talking, I was kind of just thinking about it. I think one of the most important parts of that friendship balance is love.
Yeah.
If you can love your people to the point where you want what's best for them. I think that's that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Being able to like tell them the hard truth because you love them and you want them to grow.
Dude, I had a previous leader of mine, and it was daunting to see the amount of, and any leader that ever watches this, any leader is going to feel this at some point, how daunting leadership can be, how overwhelming leadership can be, how you feel like you're on an island and this is everything that you have to do, everything that you have to accomplish as a leader is completely overwhelming. But what I have learned is I've watched leaders in the past fake it till they make it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is hard for me as a follower, so to speak, of my leaders to be like, dude, you're not perfect. I know you're going through things. Speak it. Right? Like someone once told me, he's like, dude, I don't have the luxury of feeling that, right? Like I'm in charge of this and I'm in charge of this and I'm in charge of this. I'm like, dude, it's okay to show like the human side of you.
Yeah.
Right. Which is,
it's hard to do.
It's hard to do, but I think it's the most important thing to do as a leader is show that you're not just a slave to the company.
It's true. I'm just drinking
right?
the Kool-Aid.
Like drinking the Kool-Aid and someone's going through a hard time and you're just like, dude, it's going to be awesome. It's great. Like, to me, that's kind of crazy.
Colby Bond
Yeah.
is probably the best example of that I've ever seen.
I love Colby.
Just like I'll have times where I am just so frustrated and just upset. And this has been ever since I came here to ES Solar. Every time I talk to him, it's one of those things where I feel like he's letting me vent more than I'm even comfortable venting. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm going too far. But he does it in a way where he listens, he's understanding, and even agrees with it. But then at the end of that phone call, we're moving forward.
Yeah, but it's validating too.
Exactly. I feel heard, understood, cared for, accepted.
Yeah.
But then redirected.
Not that we need to be coddled, right? Not that we need to be, given, but again, that's the whole point of our leaders, right? Like our leaders are there to help us become better leaders and things like that. Colby is probably in my opinion, one of the best at, dude, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's not okay.
Uh-huh.
But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And obviously my kind of idea with that is, dude, I'm just going to go to work, right? I'm going to go to work to show my people that, hey, it's okay. You're going through this. And I think that's the easiest way to lead without being everyone's friend is validating, but challenging.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's like, I know this is hard, but what is your option?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And letting them come up with that solution. Yeah.
And giving them the opportunity to actually go out and do what they say they're going to do, but keeping them accountable to doing that.
Yeah.
That's something that I feel like a lot of leaders in any type of industry struggle with is when it's time to hold someone accountable. Mm-hmm. I think that's the hardest thing
it is
that leaders have to do if they're friends with their subordinates, with their employees, with their co-leaders, with their whoever is working with them. I think holding people accountable is difficult.
It is, especially if you don't set the right precedents, right? Like if you just hold people accountable randomly, that doesn't do anything good.
Consistent accountability.
Exactly. If guys can expect that they're going to be held accountable, they'll be more accountable to their actions because they know that you're going to ask them about it. They know that you're going to be expecting them to do what they said they were going to do. But if you only do that sometimes, that's where guys start to stray. That's where they start to do less than what they said they were going to do because they don't think anybody's going to check on them or ask about it.
I think that's the accountability part with being consistent. I know I can do better at that always. I get a little lackadaisical and, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We'll fix that next time. But again, accountability with leaders I think it can be a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Scarce.
Yeah.
In this industry, bodies mean everything. Bodies, having people, building your team to be the biggest it can possibly be. And so it's hard for people to hold people accountable to a point where they're losing people.
Yeah.
Right? If you're losing too many people, right? But at what point do you lose the right people and you keep the right ones?
Well, I kind of think about Utah County and the glory days, right? Like when it was you, me, Trio, and Jordan.
Yep.
Like we were lean, we were mean, pound for pound. We were the best office in the company.
I agree.
But then at the same time, it didn't take much for that balance to shift, right?
Mm-hmm.
A couple of promotions, people going different places, and then all of a sudden we were in a tougher spot. And so there's that fine balance of keeping people in the right spot in the right moment, but then also feeding and growing, right? You can't just stay stagnant. You've got to always be growing, helping, mentoring. And I've thought about that a lot as we've been going in through the South. You have kind of that decision moment of like, where is this guy going to go?
Yeah.
Is he going to lean in and like go for it, or is he done? Is he ready to move on to something else? And giving guys the chance and opportunity to lean in every time, I think, is the right answer.
I agree, but how do you do that?
Oh,
not to put you on the spot, but
no, that's a good point.
How do you hold someone accountable who is your friend?
Well, I think you let them set the terms. And then one of the things that I've always loved to do is ask them permission to hold them accountable. It's a stupid, like it sounds stupid in your head, like, Miles, can I hold you accountable to this? Can I make sure that, like, do I have your permission to ask you how this is going?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I've asked you that, all of a sudden, now that when I do it, you're like, oh, well, I told him that he could.
I like that. I think that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Honestly. I've got a few people in my head that have done that in the North, and just recently, yes, because I have the memory of a gnat.
Yeah.
So I can remember 3 days ago,
Yep.
nothing past it.
It's impressive that you can do 3 days.
It's impressive I can do 3. But again, dude, I 100% agree. Having an opportunity for your friend or people that you love
Mm-hmm.
come to you and say, can you hold me accountable to this? Because I do want to get better.
Yeah.
It's our job as leaders to actually do it, though.
Well, and you have to have systems in place,
Mhm.
because it kind of goes back to that consistency thing. If you're only holding people accountable here or there and just randomly, it doesn't do any good. But
Yeah.
like if you have a system, like for right now, like every Wednesday and every Friday, I'm posting where everybody's at on the week versus their goal, progress, stats, like all that kind of stuff. But if I only do that on a week that we're doing good, or on a time that we're actually sucking, like it doesn't do as much as if I'm consistent and doing.
I like that, dude. I think we talked about that the other
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
I like that. I need to start doing that. But I think that's a perfect segue into the half and twice.
Yes. And this is a mantra that I feel like I try to live my life by.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why I ran so hard in June and why I run so hard in this job is I can't even remember where I heard it. I don't know if it was like Casey Baugh or someone else, but just with your people, they are going to look at you and they're going to emulate what you do. And whatever you do right, they're going to do half of what you do right. And whatever you do wrong, they're going to double it every single time. And so if I'm taking too much time off, or I'm being lazy, getting out to the doors, or after a meeting, like if I'm doing some of those things, guys are going to be like, oh, he's going slow. He's having a slow week. Cool. I'm not going to worry about it till next week. Like they're just going to do twice of that. But anytime that guys see me, like after the meeting's done, I'm going straight to an appointment. They have that, I probably got to get going. Just, you can see it in the production of your teams. Like when you start out hot, that momentum usually carries through to the team.
Yeah.
But if you start out slow or you're just struggling, and I mean, struggling is fine. Struggling is just part of the game, but it's the choices that we make, the choices that are visible.
Dude, I think that's perfect. I think that leads into another one of leading from the front.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk about that all the time. Everybody knows that lead from the front, right? Like typically in the door-to-door industry, the leaders themselves are probably the best in the room.
They have
Now that they, in my opinion, they do have to be, right? You got there for a reason, but leading from the front is massive if you want your team to follow. Now, accountability on leadership side. The other day, and this quick little story, and I'll explain all of it. It's kind of funny how this worked. So I went to an appointment for one of our reps, and I knock on the door, and they answer, and they tell me, in no short term, we're good, right? We're okay. And dude, I've been talking about this for years, like, give everything you have to every appointment. Give it all you have. Like that setter, that door knocker, knock that door. Get in the house, right? Do your very best to help that homeowner. Dude, I turned around and I walked away.
Yeah, it's almost like a relief, right?
Yeah, I turned around and I walked away. And as I'm walking to my car, whatever objection they gave me, I'm thinking, right, what could I have done? What could I have done? What could I have done? And I get in my car and I'm like, no, dude, this is not how I should be doing this. So I called a buddy of mine and I asked, it's like, hey, you've been doing roofing for 20 plus years. Is this true? And he's like, absolutely not. So I got out of the car, knocked on their door again. I had my friend on speakerphone and he was able to talk to them. And again, I think using the people, if I don't know something, dude, I'm going to call somebody.
Yep.
Right. I am not that proud that I cannot ask for help. Call a buddy, get him on speakerphone. He explains the situation. And now the homeowner is in a completely different mindset. We're able to get the appointment ran. And I actually meet with them this evening. But it was so funny because that night I posted a reminder to all of the closers in our area. And I said, hey, just to throw out a reminder, make sure you guys fight for everything, every single lead we get. And I did this because I need them to know that I'm also human, right? Being a top dog or being a leader in any industry, like you obviously want to show that you don't have any weaknesses of any sort, right? So I posted it and someone actually texted me privately and he goes, dude, who did this? What made you go into our group chat and say this? Like, who's doing this? And I was like, honestly, brother, it was me. Mm-hmm. And he was like, no way.
Yeah.
No way did you do that. And I'm like, absolutely, dude. I tucked tail and ran. But then I went to the group chat and said, hey guys, this was about me. And another rep, another guy texted me. He goes, dude, it's nice to see that you're human. Yeah. It's nice to see that you too try and, that not everybody tries to, not everybody else tries to take the easy way out, and you have done it too. I'm like, dude, 1,000%. Like, this job is hard enough to have days, and now we're just going to turn this into a quick therapy session, right? This time this job has taken so much of our time. Sometimes it's just like, dude, I just want to sit in my car.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to just take the easy loss.
Yeah.
It's almost better for them to just say that they're not interested. So you can just,
take a breath.
Yeah. Because we're tired.
But then what would we be, Spence?
Losers,
little babies.
While you were talking about that, it reminded me of Trio. When he first came on, he came and he shadowed me. And I got my am I allowed to swear on this?
I think we're allowed one.
One?
Yeah.
I got my ass handed to me on a platter. And I'm over here thinking like, dude, this guy's going to think I'm a loser, that I'm not good at my job. Like this is terrible. Like literally went to 6 appointments and it was just like I was just getting pounded. Nothing good was happening. And
That doesn't sound good.
no, it was terrible.
Actually sounds uncomfortable.
But a little, expanding. But talking back to that moment and talking to Trio after, because Trio came on, he figured it out and he killed it. And he said, honestly, it was so much fun going out and not just watching you kill it, because sometimes that's just like daunting. But like, I've seen the success that you've had, but I also saw that you have hard times too. And because of that, he was able to just like say, dude, I can do this. And it was almost better for him knowing that like, it's not all roses and daisies, but if you're willing to put in the time and the effort, it's a numbers game. You'll have some that will, some that won't. On to the next.
Yeah, dude, it's absolutely a numbers game. And I think that's the whole point of the accountability. Like we have plenty of people, right, that we've got to keep accountable. We've got plenty of opportunities that we need to keep ourselves accountable to.
Yep.
But I think the accountability and the structure will create the freedom that everybody wants. I think structure is important. The accountability is important. There's actually kind of the other day ran into somebody and was like, dude, structure. I need structure. And it seems like you guys have it. It's just like, dude, we do, but we're pretty like, it's an accountability culture is what we've created. And I know you're doing the same thing, not kind of, we're doing the same thing, right? Keeping our teams accountable, but keeping ourselves accountable. Our leaders are going to keep us accountable. And so the freedom is what I'm trying to create out of accountability, if that makes sense.
It does. Living accountable to your goals creates freedom.
Yeah.
Because it gives you what you want. Like if you're not staying accountable to, because obviously we set goals for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It's not just willy-nilly, but at least for me, what I'll usually do is be like, okay, this is how much money I want to make this year. In order to get to this spot, what do I need to do on the year, on the quarter, month, week, and the day?
Yep.
And if I'm accountable to those goals, it creates the freedom that I was doing everything for. Because obviously,
Spencer, do you write your goals down?
Absolutely.
Why would you do that?
I tattoo them on my bicep. No, just kidding. It's not that big.
That means they're big goals, folks.
If you're not looking at your numbers and understanding what those numbers mean, because once again, it's a numbers game. The numbers don't lie. Like if you're not getting the amount of deals that you need, look at why. Whether it's you're not doing enough, right? You're walking away from appointments and you're not fighting for them.
Yeah.
Or you're not getting enough appointments. And if you're not getting enough appointments, what do you need to do to get more appointments? And it's that simple of like cause and effect. You need to see what the issue is and what do you need to do to get to the solution and do what it takes to get to the solution. I think that's the hard part is people will look and say, okay, here's the solution. It's over here, but I'm over here. I guess I'll just call it a day and there's always next year. No.
Yeah.
Figure out what you need to do to make that happen and do it.
I think that's pretty big for anybody is writing down your goals and holding yourself accountable to your goals. I only recently started doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was the first year that I actually wrote down my goals, and I've done this for over 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think literally it's the first time that I've physically written down my goals.
I mean, you're really talented.
Dude, I'm really talented or really stupid. I could be both. Actually, I'm fairly certain I'm both. But writing them down, I have them in my phone. I have them on my computer at home. I have them on a notebook at home. I want to see them because, dude, I'm forgetful.
Yeah.
Right. I make a plan. Whether I follow through that plan is, I think 50-50 sometimes because I forget I even made it. Like my wife is just like, dude, do you remember this? Do you remember this? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I love you so much. I have no idea what you're talking about
Yeah.
because, dude, my brain sometimes is all over the place,
Well, there's a lot that we're doing.
right? Like I have 5 kids, married. This is year 15 for me. And dude, it's crazy the amount of stuff that I forget now that I'm in my 30s.
Just wait until we're in our 40s.
Can't wait for my 40s. But yeah, dude, I forget everything. So writing it down is massive.
It is.
And we've been trying to get everybody to write their goals down and send them to us so we know exactly where they're at, so we can help them. But what is your team? What are you guys doing to hold people's goals accountable?
Well, I'm autistic, right?
Love that.
I have a spreadsheet. And
He's a spreadsheet guru.
I love my spreadsheets. I use spreadsheets for everything.
Yeah.
And I have everybody listed in our office, and we have a different tracking system for pretty much everything. We have what they are or what they did this last week, right?
Mhm.
Or what we're at week to date. I kind of use it in 2 different ways. On Mondays, we'll go through and everybody will say what they did for the week. We'll do the claps, but I'll have their goal right next to it of what they said they were going to do so that it's in their head. And during the week, that's what I'm sending out. It's like, this is what you said you were going to do. This is the percent of how close you are to hitting that goal. And this is how far we are through the week. Like, where does that balance? How are you doing? Are you ahead? Or are you behind? So we go through, we do what did you do this last week? What type of revenue did you actually get this last week? Because revenue is important too. Revenue is what we get paid on.
I need a revenue one. Can you make me a revenue
I'll make
one?
you a revenue
All right,
one.
cool.
It's Josh Jackson and I were just talking about that, and it's an important thing to
to
be
track.
mindful of,
Yeah.
But then I have where guys are at year to date on revenue and what their goal is on the revenue. So it's every single week, these reps, as we're sitting there in our meeting, they're seeing exactly where they are and exactly where they said they wanted to be. And I'm hoping that as they're doing that, they're thinking, okay, this is where I am. This is where I need to be. What do I need to do to get from here to there? That's what I'm hoping. And I think for most people, hopefully it's helping. I've seen a lot of the guys in the office and gals too, like Casey Allen, like she's thriving right now. She sold $1 million in this last quarter. And we just had a conversation the other day about hitting that 1.5 million mark for quarter 3 to get that $20,000 bonus. Like that should be everybody's goal right now.
1,000%.
It's huge. But having those goals.
I had that many cancels. Good job, Casey Allen.
Yeah,
You're amazing.
She's killing it. And you're killing it too. You're still in that top 10.
Guys, we're just gonna scratch this one.
Yeah. Cancels are the
dude,
sign of a good salesman.
Yeah, dude.
If you're not getting cancels at all,
Yeah.
are you really selling as many people as you could?
I mean, no, absolutely not. I would like to keep more because I do want to help people.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where we're gonna segue back to the goals, not my cancellations.
The monster in the closet.
The monster in the closet. But it is one of those things where I see what you're doing, and it's working, right? It's working, and that's really all that matters. But I think that's another lesson that I can learn. It's just door to door in general. There's lots of lessons to be learned here.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of leaders do things different.
Mm-hmm.
What are some lessons that you feel that you've learned?
Oh, geez.
Just about leadership and structure,
Too many to
accountability.
count. It's interesting as I've stepped into this position and talking with all the different guys in the office, just hearing some of the different leaders that they've had in their past, and some of the incredible things that they've done that I never would have thought of,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm humble enough to admit it. Like these guys that have been there, Colby, Carson, like fantastic leaders, absolutely incredible salt of the earth dudes. And some of the things that they've done are things that I would love to start implementing, and things that I actually have tried to implement. I'm very much a workhorse. I'm all about work. Like I don't necessarily always think about the fun. For me, like once again, I'm autistic. I love just putting my head down and just going to work and just like I don't think about anything else.
Yeah.
These other guys, they need to have fun doing the job. And for me, I have fun while I'm doing the job. But creating that fun for them where there's, activities on the side and doing those kind of things, like doing more of that, something that I've been thinking about implementing more and just making the job more fun than just, Mr. Autistic over here.
Yeah, and going to work, going
Yeah.
to work, going to work.
Exactly.
No,
Making
dude.
it fun and
That's such a good point. I'm a fun guy.
yeah.
Like, I love having fun. I love getting the team to have fun. And I think we're starting to get to the point where we're having fun more consistently because we're doing really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the lessons that we learn as leaders, they matter. But again, we're always learning, and that's kind of the whole point to growing. I was talking to, I think it was Braxton or Zach yesterday. It's like, dude, I just want to grow, right? Whatever that looks like, whatever that vision looks like, I need to keep growing. I need to learn more. I want to do better at this. I want to do better at that. But I feel that pride and arrogance get in the way of that sometimes because we've been doing this for so long.
Think that you know it all, right?
Yeah. And like I said before, that like I claim to know a lot, but I claim to know nothing. Like there's 1,000 things that I'm still trying to learn and get better at. But I think there's for this episode in general, I think there's a pretty fine line between what we're doing and what other leaders in the past have done.
Yeah.
I think that line has been drawn. And this is just in previous companies as well. The leaders that say, do what I say and not as I do, right? The ones that stand up there and don't show up for their team or
expect their team to do all the work and sit back.
And so that's another part is, what are you doing as a leader that shows your team that you're in the right spot and you're there for a reason?
Oh, geez, that's a loaded question.
It is, but I'll answer mine too.
I think for me personally, it's that leading from the front, right? Like I expect and damn near demand greatness out of my people, but I also demand that out of myself. I have very high expectations for myself, and I'm not willing to fail. I mean, obviously failure is going to be part of it, but at the end of the day, my goal is to make sure that I'm pushing through the failures to find success.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put in 110% because I know that if I don't, how in the hell am I going to expect my people to step up and grow if I'm not doing as much as I possibly can?
Fail forward. Meet the Robinsons, great movie trio.
Yes.
Failing is a part of it. Like no matter what, that is absolutely going to happen more often than not. Mm-hmm. Right. So no, dude, I think that's a great point. It's a great point. So, that's kind of where we're going to segue into the end of this episode. But again, it's more leadership matters. And I know last episode we talked about that a little bit, this one more so, but having the right people to lead you and stand in front of you and show up when you need them to is honestly more valuable than anybody could realize, especially for me, right? Having people in the past that haven't been the leaders that I needed in that moment, because it was all about them. All right. It was all about whatever they needed or whatever goal they needed or whatever, how many people they needed to get recruited ASAP to build this and go here and go there. And it's a never ending cycle when you're that type of leader. If you're not willing to build the people and to train the people and lead the people that you're currently with, dude, you're always going to be looking for the next one. And you will always be looking for the next one. You will lose the people that you claim to love. You will lose the people that you claim to be friends. You will lose everybody in search for everyone else. So again, No Demand for Average is simply here to challenge myself, challenge Spencer, challenge the people that we work with, the people that we meet to do more, right? To help you guys create more. And that's it. So like, subscribe, do whatever you want. I don't care. Thanks for watching.